In 1993, Steven Spielberg directed a movie based off a Michael Crichton novel called Jurassic Park. We've all heard of it. It's a worldwide phenomenon. To me, one of the greatest movies ever made. It's fantastic. They're still making them to this day. That movie was produced by a man named Frank Marshall. Frank Marshall also produced Raiders of the Lost Ark and Indiana Jones with Steven Spielberg. In 1995, Frank Marshall released a film called Congo. Kind of a mix, in a way, of Indiana Jones and Jurassic Park. This is also written by Michael Crichton. Now, it is not so much Jurassic Park, and it is not so much Indiana Jones. It is a modern movie, and it is not about dinosaurs. But it is about a scientist trying to bring a human-trained ape back into the wild, to introduce her to the wild, because she's basically been, I don't know the word for it, but he's been teaching her how to be more human and speak and all this stuff. Her name's Amy. And he wants to bring her out to the wild. Well, along with that are a cast of characters that go with them. And guys, this movie has an insane cast. Like, off the bat, the cast of this movie is so good. You got Laura Linney, it's 1995, so she's gorgeous in this movie. You got, if you're going into this, if you hear Bruce Campbell's in this movie and you're going in expecting Bruce Campbell, he's literally only in it for 5 minutes, maybe, at the very beginning. But he's so good, you almost wish he was in it more. Like, some of the best characters in this movie only have 5 minutes less of screen time. So you got Bruce Campbell, only in the beginning. You got Delroy Lindo, who is fantastic in this movie. He's uncredited, by the way. He's not even credited in this movie. And he plays this African military general guy who they got to bribe to get through. And he's only in one scene, and he eats that scene alive. Speaking of eating that scene alive, the movie also has Tim Curry in it. Tim Curry plays a Romanian weasel. You know, he's basically being Tim Curry. Fantastic character actor, but he's annoying as shit with his, like, Romanian accent, you know, and he's eating, like, they go to this general's house, and he goes, eat, eat, eat.
Have some coffee and cake. Have some.
You know, and so he's eating, and then he just tells him to stop eating, and it's so funny. It's so good.
Stop eating my sesame cake.
Mm-hmm. What are you doing in my country, you bag of shit?
Delroy Lindo eats it up, but he's only in that one scene. And then you got Joe. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce his last name. The guy who he was the chief in Bad Boys 1 and 2.
Oh, what did I say? Did you hear what I said? I heard what I said because I was standing there when I said it.
He was also in Risky Business. This guy's only, I think he's in 2 scenes, but very small role. Like, great actors in very small roles. You also have Dylan Walsh from Nip Tuck, who's basically just playing Dylan Walsh. You know, nothing really too exciting there. But the standout of this movie is Ernie Hudson. Ernie Hudson delivers in this movie, guys. He's so good, and he's kind of got this, like, English accent kind of thing. Like, he's kind of their go-to guy on the ground to get them through the jungle.
Why are they laughing?
They asked who was in charge. I said I was.
What's so funny about that?
I'm black. I should have luggage on my head.
And he's so fantastic in this movie. Like, you watch him in this, and you're like, why wasn't he in more things? Why didn't people utilize him more and stuff? Because he's great in this movie. But Congo is on DVD and has a Blu-ray. But the Blu-ray is out of print right now. This is not Fox or anything. This is Paramount. So they have a Blu-ray, which was released in 2014, I think, and then they re-released it in 2017. So it must have done good 10 years ago. But those Blu-rays are going like $40, $50 online, like they're kind of up there for this kind of movie. Like anything 40 or 50 bucks, I consider out of print and overpriced. And now we have it coming to 4K. Now, I will say with this and the Blu-ray, the special features are non-existent. Like this one has a trailer and that's it. And I think the Blu-ray also only has a trailer. But there is a 25-minute behind the scenes on YouTube. I think it maybe with a TV special or something, but it's on YouTube. And it is fantastic. That archival, it's labeled as archival, behind the scenes is 25 minutes, is on the brand new 4K. Not only that, they have a new 50-minute special feature. So that's what, an hour and 25 minutes, plus a new 13-minute makeup special effects. So you're looking at almost 90 minutes of special features in the new 4K that has never existed on the DVD or ever existed on the Blu-ray. So the visuals of this movie are just, I think that they'll pop on 4K a little bit because this movie takes place basically all in the jungle, mostly during the day. So you'll get the blue skies, the greens, and everything. And it's a 90s movie, so everything's gonna pop. There's red tints everywhere. I can imagine this 4K popping very well. I've seen some of the stills Vinegar Syndrome has posted on their thing, and I'm like, okay, I can get down with it, especially after watching this. And I actually paused it on a scene and tried to match it with the screen that they posted, the screenshot. And I was like, okay, yeah, 4K wins for sure. But there are some standout moments. Like the night scenes in this are scenes where it's like dark and stuff. Like there's a scene, I think it's a standout scene. It's like on the back of the box, the artwork with the lasers. So it's like blue lasers, night sky with smoke. You got red flares going on. You got orange machine guns going off. It's kind of the standout scene in the movie. And then the very end, you got this lava scene because the third act takes place like in a volcano. And the lava scene when it comes through, oh, I can just imagine how that will look on 4K. I think it'll be fantastic. Now, the reason I'm excited about this 4K is because, yes, I could get the Blu-ray. If you own the Blu-ray, it may not be that much of an upgrade. I don't know what the Blu-ray looks like compared to the DVD. The DVD looks fine, but I can watch it and know that, okay, this needs an upgrade, you know? But if the Blu-ray is 40 bucks out of print, and the new Vinegar Syndrome one is 42 if you get it now. I think by the time this video is posted, it still may be available because it's going to go away. It's like during the pre-Black Friday sale on Vinegar Syndrome, then it goes away, and then it comes back on Black Friday. And this thing's not selling out anytime soon. Like Sidekicks didn't sell out anytime soon. There's still like 1,000 of these. And one thing I'm kind of stoked about is they're making it a BSU, so they're giving it this like box treatment, which I only have one BSU. I haven't collected them all. I missed the boat on a couple of them. I got Roadhouse and Showgirls, and I just got the standard editions because I missed getting the box set, and I'm not paying 150 bucks just for the box online right now, unless somebody wants to sell it to me for super cheap. But I'm really into these. Like, I didn't think they were that cool until I actually got one. Like, these things are really cool. And I will say I am not a fan too much of the artwork, though, for what they did for Congo. I don't know. Like, I get it, but I don't at the same time. It doesn't stand out to me. But that aside, like, the practical effects in this movie really hold up. Like, all the apes and monkeys in this movie are done by Stan Winston, and they kind of look like the apes from 2001 a little bit. Like, you can kind of tell that they're in moments. You really see it at the very end with the white or gray apes at the very end. They look a little bit more humanoid in how they move and everything, but the regular gorillas, the main one, Amy, and then when she runs into more of her kind when they're going through the jungle, those apes look real as hell, and they're all practical. Like, I would say that they stand up pretty good against like the modern CGI Planet of the Apes that are all CGI. I think these hold up very well, and I don't think a 4K is going to make you see any flaws in them, because back then they had to do as much for real as possible. But I think there is going to be more behind the scenes on that. There is some of that, even the miniature work in this movie. I don't think there's any CGI in this. There might be, just because it's from the same producer as Jurassic Park. There may be a few CGI scenes. The only scene that really stood out to me on the DVD that I could see maybe being a little bit noticeable on the 4K is the very end with the volcano, when they escape and you see the volcano smoke coming out. That one looked like you could tell it was a comp shot. I think it was all done miniature, though. I don't think it was CGI or anything back in the time period. I think it was all miniature, because if you watch that YouTube documentary or behind the scenes that's on the new 4K, they show there's a lot of miniature work done to this. I think it's still from the same guys who did, it might be, I could be wrong, but Dante's Peak. If you've ever seen the behind the scenes of Dante's Peak and how they did those miniatures, it's from that time period, so I can see all that holding up. It holds up on the DVD. But revisiting this movie after, God, so many years, I'm being serious. I watched it twice in a row because it was so fun. First time I watched it, I was really involved in it. And then I put it on again in the background while I was doing some other stuff. And then I kept getting caught up in little moments. It's probably not for everybody. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, it's great and you should go get the 4K, blah 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 blah. It's Congo. A movie most people probably like, what? I remember that movie. Didn't that movie come out when I was a kid? Not very, I don't know, it's not a cult classic movie. So for Vinegar Syndrome to do this, I feel I think it's really cool, but I think it's kind of random in their mix, because a lot of their movies that they've done are cult classics, or movies that I consider cult classics because I grew up with them. Showgirls, Road Rules. That's how old I am. Roadhouse, Sidekicks. I remember those movies. I know that they're cult classics. But then they put out some that I've never heard of before, like Southern Comfort. Never even heard of that. Cloak and Dagger is before my time. Never heard of that. So Congo feels random, but at the same time, it totally makes sense for Vinegar Syndrome. I don't know. I pre-ordered it. I'm stoked to see it. But like I said, I don't think this is really going anywhere anytime soon. I could be wrong. So many people may be excited for Congo. Are y'all excited for Congo? I'm leaving this image up behind me to show you, it's got potential to really pop on 4K. And this is just a DVD right here. So what do you guys think? Are y'all getting Congo?